Remember being a kid? Everyone else wants to be a scientist or president. But one little girl goes up shyly and says her dream is to become a wonderful adult, to work hard like her parents and eat all the delicious food. So naive, so sweet. Now look at her. 26, unemployed. Her life? For things only. Sleep, game, watch YouTube, sleep again. In the dead of night, her game character dies, and she screams at the screen, raging at her brain-dead teammates. Noodles down, coffee in hand. She feels like she's won at life. With a warmed-up belly, it's the perfect time for a ranked match. But the racket from upstairs is driving her insane. No headphones on. The noise is unbearable. She wants to punch a wall. But the game started. No time. Let's just play through it. The game is intense. Victory is in sight. And then that noise hits again. Her composure shatters. She lashes out in chat, trash-talking her teammates. Disaster. System alert. Account suspended for 7 days for abusive chat. 7 days. She plummets from gaming high to rock bottom, collapsing to the floor. All that hype was just self-delusion. As she lies there questioning life, a knock comes at the door. A delivery? She freezes like a terrified gerbil, not daring to make a sound. Once the footsteps fade, she creeps open the door. A big box sits there, practically stamped with her mom's face. Okay, it's a care package of side dishes from her mom. The chat log is full of her mother's worried, resigned instructions. She drags the box inside, looks at the near-empty fridge, then at the care box. Well, at least tonight's late-night snack is secured. But when will this life of mooching off mom ever end? Only after the footsteps faded down the stairs did Guy Beck's son dare to crack open her door like a thief, dragging the heavy box of side dishes her mother sent inside. On her phone screen, the chat log with her mom still showed her reluctant, okay, got it replies. Talk about advanced social anxiety. Only after confirming the delivery person was truly gone did she dare to haul her lifeline box into this chaotic sanctuary where there was barely room to stand. With a sigh, she typed got it on her phone. Her mom's care was like this box of side dishes, blocking the doorway, impossible to refuse, but a constant source of frustration nonetheless. Might as well see what space was left in the fridge. Opening the fridge door was a revelation. This wasn't a fridge, it was a miniature grocery warehouse. Squid strips? Awesome. And this heavy bundle? Definitely mom's famous braised beef. Half her frustration instantly evaporated under the glow of the snack radar. But the new stir-fried seaweed had nowhere to go. Just shove it in for now, organize it later. Later. The most unreliable 2 words in Beck's son's entire life dictionary. She decided to go for broke and start a major cleanup. But squatting down, she was fully confronted by the devastation of her kitchen battlefield. Boxes, trash bags, water bottles. Holding a cardboard box of junk felt like embracing her own chaotic life. There's literally no space for the side dishes. The fridge was packed tighter than a train during Lunar New Year. Making room for mom's love meant declaring war on all this historical clutter first. Ugh, seriously, why is there so much? When did all this even get here? The mountain of junk pushed Beck's son past her breaking point. To hell with it, just toss it. Throw it all out. She transformed into a human bulldozer, a whirlwind of destruction inside the fridge. Coffee, dump it. Ketchup, dump it. Homemade cheese, dump it. Black bean sauce, dump it too. This wasn't organizing. It was performing an amputation on an overloaded appliance. Power bank found, but the initial excitement faded fast, leaving only an exhausted in its wake. Most of the stuff was out now, the floor almost flooded with trophies and trash. Just as she dealt with the fridge, a bigger boss appeared. The mountain of dirty dishes piled in the sink. Want to put a new bowl? Gotta conquer this ancient grime first. Beck's son is in danger. I have to do the dishes anyway, right? She tossed a pot into the sink with a martyr's resolve. The next second, UAACK, the smell, the accumulated stench of old food waste hit her with a critical soul strike. Pinching her nose, she rushed to the bathroom, gagging as she scrubbed. Finally clean, she returned to the kitchen to face the final, mysterious package. But what the hell is this? She opened the plastic bag to find a food container wrapped in layers of cling film. Inside, a purple-black, gooey, unrecognizable substance. This is edible. An indescribably weird odor had already begun its assault on her senses. Curiosity killed the cat. She leaned in for a sniff. Kiak! A violent, physical revulsion overwhelmed her instantly. It felt like the top of her skull was blown off by the stench. You devil! She hurled the container to the floor. Staring at the moldy, foul-smelling mess on the floor, Beck's son froze. This was the side dishes mom gave her before. Because she'd been eating only delivery and ramen for convenience, to save money, she'd completely forgotten her mother's care, letting it rot. Regret and guilt washed over her like a tide. Biting her collar, she realized for the first time what the true cost of her savings was. This month, she'd definitely cut back on delivery and eat these properly. However, her resolve only lasted until evening. I'm hungry. Right on schedule, leaning against the door, her thoughts weren't about nutrition, but what should I eat so that even the neighbor hears I ate well? And the result? Squid strips paired with coffee, truly a healthy combo. What happened to cutting back on delivery? In the face of hunger and laziness, resolutions are made to be broken. Mechanically munching on squid strips, she texted her mom with a mix of annoyance, discussing whether the stir-fried seaweed was too bland. Life just slipped by, day after day, in this powerless tug-of-war and petty frustration. She finally replied to her mom, I thought it was good to see. Even her genuine feelings ended up as feeling reassurance to put her mom at ease. Night fell, the city settling into quiet. While most people were returning home after a busy day, for Guy Beck's son, her day was just about to begin. Or rather, her day and night had long since been flipped upside down. She lay in bed, completely drained. The title Honorary Citizen of New York was earned through all-night gaming marathons. In her haze, only one thought cut through clearly. I need to piss. Yawning through her biological emergency, she was still as tired as a dead dog. Did I sleep wrong? I'm so sleepy. Nonsense. Is it really your sleeping posture? It's because you never get proper sleep in the first place. Glancing at her phone, 6:30 a.m. Played games until I passed out yesterday. She did the math. 12 produce. 6:30? I slept for 14 hours? Wait, 6:30. A terrible premonition dawned on her. She shot up from her chair as if electrocuted. That time, it's the favorite start time for the renovation maniacs next door/upstairs. But just before her blood pressure peaked and she charged out for a fight, her computer screen lit up, hot time rewards. She got the rare pinwheel hat. Her rage was instantly doused by gamer's luck. Almost messed up. So cute, hee hee. She happily placed the pinwheel hat in her luxury collection. Since she got her reward, might as well do some quests. What renovation noise? Nothing compares to the sweet bliss of her single-player RPG world. Controlling her level 500 Dragon Slayer, she punched monsters into oblivion, savoring the pure joy of building and growth. I feel so calm. In this moment, all the crap from reality was blissfully blocked out. Unlike those shitty multiplayer games, RPGs never get tiring. No sooner had she sighed in contentment than a line of text appeared in the game's public chat. A player named 97YRLDRNDMKIMBOKJ spoke up, Hey, trouble, as they say, has arrived. Furious and ready to unleash hell on whoever's making that noise. Beck's son suddenly stumbles upon a rare windmill cap. In her game, the instant dopamine hit is real. The rage evaporates, replaced by the glowing screen and the sweet sound of virtual victory. But the jungle of online games is less predictable than the real world. Just as she's deep in her cozy building sim, two players, 97-year-old grandma and 3 art dormitory laughter worker, roll up and claim her spot. Get out of the way. The digital bullying begins, yanking her right out of paradise. Before she can even process the threat, they strike. Bam! Her character is smashed to the ground, and the trolling begins. Kakik, are you dumb? Can't do anything, right? Boo-hoo. Their laughter echoes louder and more grating than any real-world noise ever could. Then a flash of light. Right in front of her spawns a golden dwarf money bag. A rare mob that drops a fortune in gold. All thoughts of humiliation vanish. Her brain does the math instantly. If I catch it and sell the loot, I can easily buy 2 chickens. Is it finally her lucky break? She charges in for the kill and misses. Immediately, the trolls are there, laughing, pointing. Keek, keek, keek. You didn't get right? Lost 50,000 gold, right? Beck's son's heart drops into her stomach. 50,000 gold. That's practically her entire virtual fortune, gone in an instant. Give it back, she screams at the screen, desperation clawing at her throat. The only reply is pure venom. Even if you kill US, the money is never coming back, Kakik. The mocking bam bam sound effects hit harder than any physical blow. Beck's son, the unemployed. Beck's son, the in-game punching bag. The bullies go deeper. Dio, you have your cam on? I can practically see your distorted face. Another chimes in. Looks like you're our distorted villain. The humiliation is complete. Beck's son feels stripped bare, a spectacle for their cruel amusement. It ends with her character being knocked into orbit. The finishing words are a masterpiece of cruelty. LMAO, you contribute to global warming. FR. If you cracked an egg on that head, it'd fry in 10 seconds. Baeksun slumps in her chair, watching her empty inventory. Despair, shame, and a dark, festering rage, they all explode inside her. Take a hit in real life? Fine. Take a hit online and just walk away? Never. As the trolls continue their stupid spiel about fake apartment wealth, Baeksun steadies herself. Her finger hovers over the forced shutdown button on her PC. The game may be lost, but this war isn't over yet. She logs back in, not to the game, but to the chat. A cold, calculating smile forms. You guys still mad enough, T.O. Keep typing. HUH? She types, her fingers poised. Such low lives died once, and bring your friends? So childish. Time for her specialty, digital retaliation. Baeksun goes nuclear. Keyboard sparks fly. It's an adult game. Aren't you embarrassed at your age? So childish, every ounce of resentment toward her boss, her neighbor, her life, gets channeled into a furious, profanity-laden tirade typed at lightning speed. With each keystroke, a weight lifts from her soul. She attacks. She copies. She pastes. She weaponizes text, flooding their chat with a torrent of verbal sewage. One thought loops in her mind. These bastards think they've won. In the real world, she's a nobody. But here, in this digital arena, she will show them the true power of a keyboard warrior unleashed. Prepared for attack. Control+C. Control+C. Poisonous whispers fly as direct messages. A barrage of hate, sent in rapid succession. She doesn't even wait for a reply. The moment the last one sends, she executes her final move. Force shutdown before getting a reply. Unilateral victory, digital mic drop. Smack. She slams a key, leaps from her chair, arms thrown high. Yes, I won. The catharsis is absolute. Pure. Bliss. 10 years' worth of stress just melted away. Wrapped in a blanket, she settles in for what promises to be the most perfect, serene, troll-free sleep of her life. Absolute victory. The next evening, the afterglow of genius still warming her, until a Stark system notification blasts across her screen. 7-day suspension. Reason, profanity/unsportsmanlike behavior. Her smile shatters. Her brain short circuits. Wait, I won, didn't I? Didn't I? Thud. The reality of the ban, and her empty bank account, hits her like a physical blow. She slumps to the floor. The sterile contact customer service message mocks her. Her only revenue stream? Selling in-game gold. Now sealed off by her own hand. Her world contracts to a single, bleak fact, 20,001 left. Promotional page. Her misery is now content for someone else's feed. 7 days of digital prison. A bad mood demands comfort food. Baeksun's thumb flies across her phone screen. Fried chicken. Now. Delivery is expensive? Screw it. Her brain is screaming for a fat insult-induced dopamine hit. Right. Now. A prepayment habit. Check the balance. What she sees freezes her solid. Huh. There's only 20,001 left? The date mocks her. A whole week until her mother's next allowance drop. How is she supposed to survive 7 days on this? Panic, cold and sharp, starts to bloom. Collapsing onto her bed, frustration boils over. Ugh, if I hadn't gotten banned, I could have sold my gold. Her virtual escape hatch is welded shut. Reality closes in. Desperation whispers a dangerous idea. Maybe if I just ask Moem for a little more allowance, just this once. The line connects. A tentative. Her mom's silence hangs for a beat, then detonates. You, how long has it been? And you've already spent it all. At your age, if you don't earn, you should at least save. The verbal barrage hits with physical force, knocking Baeksun back in her chair, stunned. The next 2 minutes are an eternity. Her mom transforms into a verbal machine gun. It's like watching money vanish into a bottomless, a shattered pit. I'll give you a new name, Bakesall. Total wreck. Baeksun cracks, wailing, I got it, okay. Stop. Any thought of asking for more money is atomized. Phone down. She deflates by the bed. Her mom's tough love echoes in her skull. Save money. Must save. But where? Convenience store snacks? Cut delivery? Sure, she could cook at home and endure. But coffee? That's her soul. It feels like life has started a brutal new game called Extreme Frugality Survival. I can't give coffee up. She groans, clinging to her last comfort. Then, her eyes dart across her phone screen and land on something. A tiny, recurring charge. YouTube Premium. The realization hits like a bolt. 10,001 a month. Payment due the day after tomorrow. A potential lifeline. Cancel. Now. Her hands shake as she navigates to the cancellation page. It's not like I can't watch YouTube without premium, right? She rationalizes. I'll just cancel now and re-subscribe later. Her finger hovers over the pink cancel immediately button. It feels less like cutting a subscription and more like severing a tiny, pathetic thread of life quality. Top. Successfully canceled. In the quiet that follows, a bizarre cocktail of emotions floods her. A hollow pride, am I actually a genius? Clashes with the crushing bleakness of her situation. Staring wide-eyed at her phone, she breathes the absurd truth. Her first major cost-saving victory is complete. A Pyrrhic victory, if there ever was one. Guy Beck's son calls her mom, expecting anything but a verbal ambush. Her mom brands her a financial black hole, dubbing her a destroyer. Hanging up, she stares at her dwindling bank balance, and with a heavy heart, the great austerity plan begins. The first target is YouTube Premium. She cancels the subscription, feeling a surge of virtuous sacrifice. One step closer to fiscal responsibility. Surely this small sacrifice will be easy, right? Reality hits back instantly. The price of free is an onslaught of ads. Every video, every pause, pop-ups, game promos, movie clips. It's digital spam, more annoying than street flyers. She grits her teeth, telling herself it's for the coffee money she's saving. But the relentless ads chip away at her sanity, draining any joy from just watching something. Her defenses crack. A supposedly impossible puzzle game ad pops up. Against all reason, it piques her curiosity. Did the ads just win a psychological battle? She clicks, and it's a bait-and switch. The ad was a lie. The feeling of being played by algorithms makes her frustration skyrocket. After all that mental gymnastics, she's more exhausted than after a writing session. This isn't saving money, it's emotional labor. Defeated, she collapses on her bed. The white flag is raised. With a defeated tap, she resubscribes to YouTube Premium. It's just skipping 2 coffees, she rationalizes, her elegant surrender to capitalism now complete. Peace at last. An internet without ads feels like a basic human right. She rolls over, content. I'll worry about money when I run out. Her personal brand of nihilistic optimism saves the day once more. Her frugal resolve evaporates. Lying on the floor, she dreams of cookies and coffee to go with her videos. The money she saved has already been mentally spent on tomorrow's snack budget. Time passes. Guy Beckson's life remains a rotation of ramen, mess, and screens. But fate has a way of inserting unexpected cogs into the machinery, and one of them is furry. As she slurps noodles, her feed is suddenly flooded with cat videos. She's baffled. I never search for cats. It must be fallout from watching funny animal compilations. Stupid algorithm. Watching the adorable fur balls on screen, she feels only disgust. What's so great about them? They destroy stuff, scream, waste food. Her anti-cat stance is firm and justified, or so she thinks. Venturing out for her lifeblood, coffee, she's immediately greeted by stray cats brawling in the street. Ugh, seriously. Her instinct kicks in, drive the nuisance away. She shoos them away, most scattering in fear. But one gray cat holds its ground. Not only that, it starts slowly ambling towards her. Guy Beck's son freezes. What's your deal? Why isn't it running? Its pitiful, slightly dumb expression does something unexpected. A crack forms in her icy resolve. Acting on a bizarre impulse, curiosity, pity, she hesitantly raises a hand. Just once. Her fingers brush the gray cat's back. Instantly, it arches into the touch, erupting in a loud, rumbling purr. Moreau. A strange warmth floods her. The soft fur, the unguarded trust. Oh no, is this? She's frozen, mind completely blank except for the vibration against her hand. Defenses annihilated. Her mind races with fantasies, living with the cat, taking photos, cuddling asleep. Pink-hued thought bubbles fill her head. Maybe having a cat wouldn't be so bad. Motivation hits her like a truck. She buys food, hurrying back to share with her destined feline, a rare, gentle smile on her face. But fate's slap in the face is never far behind. Just as she approaches the cat, an enraged shriek pierces the air. Don't feed it. A girl, Cha Jin, rockets towards her, knocking her flat on the pavement. Food flies everywhere, rolling in the dirt. Guy Beck's son sits amidst the mess, staring at the soiled rice balls and hot dog. She touches her empty pocket. That tiny spark of light. Snuffed out. Again. So, no cat, money wasted, and a bizarre street fight with a neighbor. Guy Beck's son's bright new beginning ends before it even started, in the most absurd way possible. Beck's son's fleeting fantasy of befriending a stray cat is about to get violently dismantled. In a flash, The cat is yanked by its tail and flung aside like trash. Before she can even utter a word, a blow sends her sprawling. Her just-purchased food scatters across the pavement. Stunned and on the ground, she's left wondering, what crime is feeding a poor cat? So much for hopes of solace. Her meager budget just took a direct hit. Staring at the dirt-streaked food, poverty feels less like a state and more like a tangible, dusty weight on her shoulders. But life, of course, grants no respite. As Beck's son tries to recover, raucous laughter and banging erupt through the paper-thin walls, shredding what little peace she had left. 2 hours of sleep isn't enough to quell the rage. Her blood pressure spikes. She's had enough. It's time to teach these noisy neighbors a lesson. She storms out of her room, fury fueling every step, ready for a confrontation. But the scene awaiting her is not what she expected. The door is wide open, revealing 2 burly men laughing over drinks. Her righteous anger evaporates in an instant, replaced by pure, unadulterated dread. Confrontation is now off the table. Defeated and mortified, she turns on her heel and flees, the sound of the men's laughter chasing her retreat. An epic, humiliating backdown. Slamming her door shut, she decides she has to get out of this madhouse before she explodes. A walk is the only solution. Talk about bad luck. Just steps outside. She's cornered by the very same woman who attacked her over the cat, now flanked by an equally menacing friend. Who told you to feed them in front of my house? The woman snarls. Beck's son is caught off guard. This nightmare is back? She tries to reason, but the other woman drags her in, pointing at her dark circles as proof of crazy cat lady obsession. The logic is utterly baffling. This isn't a dispute, it's an ambush. Beck's son finds herself trapped between 2 volatile strangers, a designated punching bag for their bizarre feud. Pushed to her limit, she snaps back, pointing a trembling finger. What right do you have to judge her? The words escape her lips before she can think. A sinking feeling hits. Oh no, now she's part of the circus. Her retort is the final spark. In a flash, the woman lunges, grabbing her hair. You think words aren't enough? Panic floods Beck's son's veins. Just as she's about to be throttled, the apartment door bursts open. The 2 men from earlier emerge, clearly driven out by the ruckus. Chaos erupts into a 5-person melee. The men try to break it up, the blonde goes for Beck's son, and Beck's son just wants to vanish. It's pure pandemonium. Fueled by pure adrenaline, Beck's son breaks free from the tangle of limbs and takes off sprinting. The sounds of shouting and chaos fade behind her. She collapses against a wall, gasping for air. Her mind reels. What kind of insane neighborhood is this? Is this really a developed country? A desperate fantasy takes hold. A spacious house, a nice neighborhood, no weird people in sight. The daydream only deepens her despair. Crouched next to overflowing trash bags, she clasps her hands in a plea to the void. God, if you're real, please, just give me free money every month. Finally, utterly drained, she tiptoes back towards her apartment, like a thief sneaking into her own life. The only sanctuary she has left, a tiny, shabby room that, for now, is finally quiet. Having slipped away from the chaotic neighborhood brawl like a greased pig, Beck's son slumps back in her chair, utterly drained. As the commotion continues outside, she's not just tired, she's completely given up on this terrible place. And her next thought? She's actually fantasizing about a divine intervention that would let her collect a monthly salary for doing absolutely nothing. Peace, however, is a luxury the unemployed can't afford. The very next day, a disaster far more potent than neighborhood drama arrives unannounced. Beck's son's mother, bursting onto the scene of the crime, her daughter's pigsty. Look at that deer-in-headlights look on her face. Trying to escape? Not a chance. Mom has secured the perimeter, and the stage is set for a brutal public shaming session. First, we get the full, horrifying panorama of the crime scene. Dim lighting, scattered trash. Beck's son's room has strong post-apocalyptic chic vibes. Her mother takes one look, and you can almost see her blood pressure spike. Now begins the classic generational showdown. Mom launches a full-scale offensive. Is this even fit for humans? You garbage princess. Beck's son can only muster a pathetic defense. I clean up sometimes, you just came on the wrong day. See? Adult excuses are always this flimsy. But wait, here comes the plot twist. While Mom is lecturing and cleaning, she spots the smoking gun at the bathroom sink. A cup holding not one, but 2 toothbrushes. One new, one old. Mom's expression instantly morphs from disgust to sheer, unadulterated delight. The discovery ignites her inner gossip queen. 2 toothbrushes. Is my daughter finally dating someone? And Beck's son? She's dying of embarrassment, trying to explain. Mom, listen, I just replaced mine and haven't thrown the old one out. But Mom's eyes are already sparkling with the light of a potential son-in-law. Mom instantly switches into future mother-in-law inspection mode, full of renewed zeal. She commands Beck's son to re-clean the entire place from top to bottom, no corner spared. Look at her scrubbing that window frame. If you didn't know better, you'd think royalty was coming over. Once the cleaning blitz is over, Mom surveys the transformed space and cracks her first genuine smile of the day. Now it finally looks like people live here. Beck's son, meanwhile, is completely annihilated, collapsed flat on the newly polished floor. But the warm and fuzzy moment is fleeting. Mom immediately flips back into interrogator mode and goes straight for the jugular. So, are you keeping up with what you said you'd do after quitting? You mentioned writing something. The question hits like a brick. Look at Beck's son's face, the sweat, the stammering. She's completely tongue-tied. 2 years later, her dream? It's been gathering dust in some forgotten corner. Mom, of course, sees right through it. She sighs with disappointment. But despite the tough exterior, she can't help her maternal instinct. As she leaves, she shoves a wad of cash into Beck's son's hand. Here, your monthly allowance. The moment Mom is gone, the tension evaporates. Clutching the warm cash in her hand, Beck's son takes a deep breath. Ah, the familiar, sweet smell of money. The only tangible lifeline she is right now. But she barely gets a moment to savor that fleeting security before fate comes knocking. Literally. Knock, knock, knock. The sound of impending doom is back at her door. Beck's son's heart sinks. Damn it. It's that psycho neighbor, Cha Yeojin. She must have heard all the earlier commotion with Mom. Yeojin's voice is insistent outside. Hey, open up. I know you're home. I heard all that thumping and noise earlier. Are you watching weird movies or something? Open the door. Panic sets in. Beck's son's mind races for a solution. Pretend to be out? Not an option. She just heard the door. In her desperation, Beck's son remembers a wild hack she saw online. How to resolve neighborhood disputes? Pretend to be a crazy person. Time for some method acting. Beck's son throws herself into the role, imagining she's an ex-con who misses prison food. She contorts her face, makes her whole body tremble, and flings the door open. And then, both people, one inside, one outside, freeze. The world goes silent. Yeojin, standing outside, is utterly baffled. Her eyes go wide as she points. Huh, you? You're that Dark Circle's lady from before. And you're my next-door neighbor. As for Beck's son, her psyche has officially shattered. Beck's son stands alone in the hallway, brain buzzing. First, she nearly got into a street brawl. Then, her mom gave her the third degree about her life's failures. And now, this unhinged neighbor has just treated her like a lunatic and slammed a door in her face. Her life is a never-ending spiral of fresh, new levels of humiliation. Beck's son tries to act like a lunatic to scare off whoever's knocking. But as the door swings open, oh, it's her worst nightmare. The neighbor, Cha Eugene. Eugene launches into an immediate attack. Strange, slapping noises? Loud chaos? She accuses Beck's son of watching adult content in broad daylight. Beck's son, in a full-blown panic, can only sputter, I don't even have a boyfriend. There's no escape from this humiliation. Beck's son's mind races through the lose-lose options. Admit to a boyfriend and being too loud, or admit to being alone and being too loud with something else. Either way, it's social suicide. After delivering her stern warning, Eugene turns on her heel and leaves. I won't let it slide next time. Beck's son watches from behind the door, indignant. Wait a minute. Wasn't she the one who made noise first? The more she thinks about it, the angrier she gets. Why is she the one being lectured? Can't she even stand up to that tiny nuisance? Seething, she bursts out of her room. Just you wait, she fumes. I'll give you a proper lesson next time. After venting her rage, Beck's son sighs and picks up the scattered bills from the floor. Money her mom worked hard for. What bad luck. Her day has hit rock bottom. The stress is just too much today. She decides to call it, collapsing onto her bed. I'm too stressed, she thinks, opting for sleep. I'll go to the bank tomorrow morning and avoid running into that neighbor. The next morning brings a bit of sunshine and a fatter wallet. A glimmer of optimism. Yesterday had its struggles, but she strolls out, thinking maybe today will be better. Life goes on, right? Her good mood doesn't last long. Before she even reaches the bank, a powerful smell of alcohol hits her nostrils. Sniff. Oh, that is not a good scent. And speak of the devil. There, slumped on the curb, a sobbing, drunken mess, is Cha Eugene herself. Beck's son's instinct is to bolt, but it's too late. This is social anxiety hell. Eugene recognizes her neighbor Yuni and clings to her desperately. Why? Why does everyone abandon me? Beck's son is now the unwilling anchor for this emotional typhoon. Well, She's trapped. Beck's son reluctantly stays put. Turns out Eugene has just been dumped for the fourth time this year, told she's emotionally barren. Wait a minute. So the dramatic noises from her apartment yesterday afternoon were just a fling? This girl really knows how to put on a performance. Somehow, after all the crying, a weirdly amicable vibe emerges. They actually exchange names and ages. I'm Ha Yutin, 22. Oh, I'm Guy Beck's son, 26. Eugene even tells her to speak casually. Is this a truce? The truce lasts for all of 2 seconds. When Beck's son tries to excuse herself, Eugene's mood flips in an instant. Ah, she shrieks, latching onto Beck's son's leg like a limpet. No, don't go. Don't go. The public drama is officially beginning. Help! Eugene has officially lost it. She's a human octopus of despair, clinging and wailing. You're leaving me. Blurg! Beck's son is screaming internally. Someone get this crazy bitch off me. Tugging, shoving, screaming. Eugene uses Beck's son as a breakup punching bag in public stage. Yeah, everyone on the street is staring. Beck's son has officially hit peak public mortification. Finally, Eugene collapses sobbing. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. Beck's son seizes the moment, tearing herself free and sprinting away, a suspicious stain on her clothes. In her wake, a child points and yells, Mommy, that person pooped with their belly. This is the most humiliating escape of her life. The memory drags her back to that cringeworthy moment at the company. Facing Mr. Representative's sharp, yes. Guy is already sweating bullets, her ears turning crimson. She tries to play it cool, muttering, there's nothing special, while her entire expression screams otherwise. Back in the cold reality of the interview room, No Yejuan isn't offering romance. He's offering a reality check. With a speck of sauce still at his lip, he dissects her resume. Your credentials are just the minimum entry requirement, he drawls, the disdain palpable, and you're too young. Too inexperienced. Each word is a tiny cut to her already fragile ego. He piles it on, talking about the great risk and significant opportunity cost of hiring someone like her. The subtext is screaming, you, Guy Beck's son, are a liability. Her heart drops in her stomach. The thought of failing, of seeing the disappointment in her parents' eyes, it's a tidal wave of dread threatening to drown her. Suddenly, the memory jolts. It's her at home now, facing her father's laughter. Her father's teasing fire in the hole. Feels like a final slap. A fire ignites in her gut, shame mixed with fierce defiance. No. Her face flushes as she shouts back, fists clenched. I won't run. I'll show you what I'm made of. But the reality check hits immediately. In the next moment, she's flopping around on the couch like a beached fish while her dad, metaphorically, pants from running slowly. The grand declaration crashes and burns. She collapses, shrieking, damn it. It's over. All that fiery resolve extinguished by sheer physical incompetence and overwhelming shame. The scene splits. One side shows the interview pressure, the dreaded question about salary. The other side reveals her present state, alone in a dark room, clutching a plushie. The caption is a gut punch. It's already been 2 weeks, yet there's no reply. The agonizing wait is its own special kind of hell, worse than any writer's block. No call, no offer. It was never in the cards. She tries to downplay it, telling her panicked dad to cool it. But the old man isn't having it. He rips off his shades and roars. Life is full of setbacks. I went to 20 interviews a day. His lecture is a pressure cooker, squeezing all the air out of the room. After the verbal lashing, a defeated Beck's son retreats. Crumpled against the wall, she starts chanting motivational nonsense to herself. Withered body, crushed bones, comeback, unwavering will, trying to bootstrap her spirit back. Cue dad, bursting through the door like a startled bear. These idioms mean the moment is pure, unadulterated cringe comedy. And just like that, fate throws a curveball. Her dad storms in with his phone, shouting, look at this quick. And there she is, spoon in hand, her face lighting up like a Christmas tree. I got it. I got the job. They told me to show up for work. Pure, unadulterated euforia. A lifeline thrown into the depths of despair. On her first day, No Yejuan is all casual smiles again, inviting questions. But Guy is sweating bullets. The contract blurs before her eyes. I'm so nervous I couldn't read the contract properly. She frets internally. She stammers out as step 1 in her new life, taken on wobbly knees. Time jump back to the present. We pull out to see the nondescript, slightly shabby street where Beck's son currently resides. A corner store, goods stacked outside, an old man soaking up the sun. Life goes on, just with our heroine occupying a different patch of ennui. In her new, tidy for once, apartment, Beck's son stretches by the window. The view is of retro, slightly run-down buildings. This neighborhood feels a bit retro. It feels quite nice, she muses. A rare, fleeting moment of peaceful, almost hopeful, contemplation. Resolute for her first day tomorrow, she sets an alarm for 10:50 p.m., labeled first day of work. And then, her body betrays her ambition, sinking into bed. I'll watch some YouTube, then I'll go to sleep earlier. The classic recipe of good intentions paved with the road to procrastination. Result? Catastrophe. Sunlight blares into the room. Beck's son is a whirlwind of panic, screaming, "H. I'm going to be late. Why did my alarm ring?" A cold, cruel footnote delivers the final blow. Asterisk, she turned all of it off herself. Asterisk, a masterclass in self-sabotage before the day even begins. It's a race against time. She dashes into the street, frantically waving down a cab. "Taxi. Over here." Miraculously, she collapses in front of the OGMA company sign. Phew, I'm not late. It's a success. The sheer relief of narrowly avoiding disaster momentarily overpowers her social anxiety. Standing before the office door, she takes a deep breath. I'm going to open the door. This is it, the official start of her corporate life. But as she looks up at the doorframe, her determined expression freezes, morphing into pure, unadulterated confusion. What now? The door is jammed from the inside. She tugs, but then it's violently pushed open from within, almost flattening her. A bleary-eyed, dark-haired male employee peers out. Who is it? A terrified, shaken Beck's son stammers her introduction. "Ah, I'm a new employee that's supposed to start working here today. Day 1. Off to a traumatic start." This gloomy-looking guy is her senior, Jukyung. He mutters, "Oh, so you're the new employee?" in a flat tone that does nothing to calm her nerves. "Please come over here." He instructs. Her internal alarm bells are already starting to chime. Something feels off here. Jukyung starts to give her a tour, then gets distracted. Before she can process it, she turns and sees him. Her eyes widen. Face floods with crimson. A hand flies to her mouth. This person. His hair. A floodgate of bad memories crashes open. This is trouble. The guy complaining about the slow internet, wanting to smash his computer? That's her. Guy Beck's son, now apparently presenting mail at work. In the flashback, she's the one grumbling. It's done. Let's go. I'll show you your seat," she says, introducing herself as Guy Beck's son to the confused new hire, who finds the name unique. The layers of identity are piling up. And her new desk? It's a biohazard zone, a dust and debris-covered nightmare. Jukyung casually apologizes. We forgot to clean up after the previous owner of the seat resigned. I'll help you clean up now." Guy stares at the wasteland that is now her workstation. Her corporate dreams are already gathering cobwebs. Jukyung offers some cold comfort. The boss is often out, the team leader isn't here yet. Just relax and get used to things. Internally, Guy lets out a tiny sigh. I was really nervous about working, but it doesn't seem too bad. The atmosphere is not too stiff. Famous last thoughts before the storm hits. She's just psyching herself up. I should be able to perform well. When Jukyung drops the real work, you can actually consider this as most of the work. Also, whenever you complete a task, you have to make a report. The sentence hangs in the air, interrupted by a sharp click, a foot on a chair. The team leader has arrived. It's him, Go Bacon, the bespectacled blonde from her past. He asks Jukyung why he's in such a good mood, the air turning awkward. Someone nudges the stunned guy. He's team leader Go Bacon. Greet him quick. Her heart plummets into her shoes. This is the moment she's been dreading. Guy bows stiffly, her voice trembling. "Hello team leader, Go Bacon. I'm Guy Beck's son, and I'll be working here from today onwards. I look forward to your guidance." Sweat beads on her temple. Across from her, Go Bacon's eyes are wide with utter shock. The recognition is instant, and it's mutual. Another flashback, further back. A warm family scene, a windmill, smiling parents. A beautiful illusion instantly shattered as we cut back to grim reality. Go Bacon is speaking to her, his words dripping with a strange, poetic menace. The birds are singing love songs in the sky. The grasses on the ground are growing more and more vibrant. The threat is palpable. Back in the tense office, Go Bacon barks at Jukyung. In nothing. "Start working." Guy watches, horrified. Then, the black-haired female colleague urgently calls her over. "Guy Beck's son, come here for a moment." Every instinct screams that this is bad news. In the hallway, the colleague nervously prods. Is there anything you want to tell me?" Let's Go Bacon, who delivers the verdict. Against a brick wall, lighting a cigarette, his gaze is a blade. He exhales smoke and drops the bomb. This isn't something to say to a person who's on their first day of work. A pause. But you should resign. The bullying commences. Elsewhere, the picture is starkly different. No Yejuan, the representative, is blissfully unaware, munching on a hot dog in a diner. An employee messages him. Representative, please confirm the report. His reply, complete with ketchup smear, is pure evasion. Oh my, I'm on field work. I'll only be able to confirm it later. Let's just proceed with this for now. While the boss relaxes, the hell for the new hire is just heating up. The first day wake-up call came earlier than expected. Veteran Ju Kyung dragged Baek's son to a corner, sweating nervously as he slipped her a warning. This company, it's not the best place to work. A thinly veiled message to manage her expectations. Baek's son was stunned, instinctively asking, "Then why are you still here?" Ju Kyung gave a bitter smile, rubbing the back of his head. The answer was a gut punch. He was trapped in a 2-year funded program with crushing penalties. This job was a one-way ticket, but the real shocker was still coming. Ju Kyung reached out, patted her head like a puppy, and laid it out. I'm telling you this because no new recruit here has lasted more than 3 months. Baek's son's mind went blank. Who says this to someone on their first day? Wait, a horrifying thought dawned on her. Could this be? Meanwhile, in a dim meeting room, 2 men were huddled together, whispering. They were evaluating the new recruit, Baek's son. Her eye twitched the moment she heard something bad about the company. Lacks loyalty. Exactly. It's a strategy to weed out anyone not in it for the long haul. Holy crap. So Ju Kyung's warning was a loyalty test orchestrated by management? But who is Guy Baek's son? She's always 100 steps ahead. That's who. She saw right through their little trap and flipped the script, putting on a mask of arrogant confidence. Don't worry, I can handle anything. I was born to work here. The stunned manager could only awkwardly backpedal. Well then, sorry about earlier, let's get along. Round 1 to Baek's son. 3 months later, the doors of OGMA company bore witness to Baek's son's initial victory. But was the future behind those doors what she truly wanted? The confident high five of starting a new job was just the beginning. The 3-month honeymoon phase was over, and reality bared its fangs. Hired as a graphic designer, Baek's son was now buried under a mountain of incomprehensible legal documents to review. Who takes the fall if this goes wrong? She started to understand Ju Kyung's "don't take it seriously" advice. Baek's son hesitated to ask the reliable senior Ju Kyung for help, but he looked swamped. Suddenly, a voice exploded from right behind her. Baek's son, are you having a hard time with the documents? She nearly jumped out of her skin. Who creeps up on someone like that? The guy looked innocent. Were you startled? Do I look like a monster or something? Baek's son could only laugh it off, awkwardly. Huh? Oh no, I get scared easily. The awkwardness was palpable. This bespectacled blonde colleague was her team leader, Go Baekon. Go Baekon put on a friendly smile, leaning in even closer. I just wanted to help. So what's wrong? Let me take a look. He was practically breathing down her neck at the monitor. This sudden concern made Baek's son's skin crawl. Baek's son pointed to the dense thicket of legal jargon on her screen, saying it was hard to understand. Go Baekon took one look, his face instantly hardening. You should be able to handle this much on your own. It's all part of the learning process. And with that, he walked off. Seriously? That wasn't help, that was just adding salt to the wound. Work was tough, but the after-hours harassment was tougher. At midnight sharp, Go Bacon's messages would bombard her phone. Baek's son, do you find life meaningful? Huh. The moon is beautiful tonight, huh? Baek's son stared at her phone, fists clenched. Was she just a boss's entertainment chatbot? To top it off, the actual Albon never properly reviewed her work, making her redo everything. For the first time, the thought of quitting crossed her mind. The next day, Go Baekon was back. He feigned politeness. Baek's son, are you busy? I was wondering if you could help me organize these files. Even with her own work, she took it. The moment the files were in his hands, his expression shifted to a mocking smirk. Ah, this is quite difficult, isn't it? I used to work on them too. Was he bragging? Or issuing a veiled threat? But work wasn't all hell. Occasionally, on a good day, Go Baekon could utter something resembling a compliment. Thanks to you, I have less to worry about. Thank you for always doing a great job. That tiny spark of Chungjugon in Baek's son flickered back to life. It feels nice to be appreciated. Maybe she could hang on a little longer? And then came the weirdness. Go Baekon suddenly whispered mysteriously to Baek's son. I think my hair might even be growing back. Do you want to see it? Baek's son was utterly confused. The scene cut to a close-up of a burly, bespectacled man. Then it cut again to a hairy leg and foot with a cheerful caption. Hello, how's everyone doing? Wait, so the hair growing back was leg hair? What kind of bizarre workplace harassment is this? Just then, the hat-wearing boss made a grand entrance. Feeling guilty for always being away, He announced a company dinner for tomorrow, since it looks like Baek's son is also settling in well. A bad feeling settled in Baek's son's gut. This dinner was going to be trouble. On the eve of the dinner, undercurrents swirled. Go Bacon adjusted his tie in the mirror, his greasy declaration ready. Tonight, at the company dinner, I'll confess my feelings for her. Meanwhile, a cool, determined voice cut through elsewhere. Kong Jukyung, you sly dog. I know how to handle guys like you. The ones who look down on women. I'll protect you from him. Protect who? A showdown was brewing. The scene shifts back to the unemployed Baek's son's reality on a street corner. But our story isn't finished with that fateful dinner. We rewind 4 years, inside the 3 or 4 barbecue restaurant. The OGMA company dinner is about to begin. Glasses clinked, the atmosphere was lively. The boss thanked everyone for putting up with a lacking boss like me. Then, he turned the spotlight on Baek's son. Baek's son, I guess we can consider you part of the family now, cheers. It sounded welcoming, but it carried an unspoken pressure. You're one of us now. Meanwhile, Go Bacon was fidgeting nervously nearby. Ugh, I want to talk to her, but I can't find the right moment. Suddenly, he seemed to make a decision. Across the table, Baek's son, as if sensing the impending doom, began to tremble uncontrollably. Go Bacon's confession dropped like a bomb in the noisy restaurant. My little Baek's son, you're different from other women. Different from those ugly women who only look at appearances. It was greasy, oppressive, and froze the air. Jukyung, horrified, tried to stand up. Wait, Mr. Jukyung. But it was too late. To diffuse the tension, someone tried to force drinks on Jukyung. Why aren't you drinking? Here, have a drink, but Jukyung refused tightly. If I drink, I won't be able to eat a lot of meat. Amidst the chaos, Go Bacon suddenly shrieked, Ah, my arm! Let go of my arm! Who? Who had grabbed him? The sudden violence made Baek's son heave. The dinner had completely spiraled out of control. The focus was forcibly dragged back to Baek's son. Someone teased her for being a good drinker, assuming she partied a lot. Baek's son answered honestly, I don't have many friends. I just occasionally drink with my dad. The other person gave a knowing smirk. Oh, come on, stop pretending to be innocent. Baek's son was speechless, her face burning with humiliation. Go Bacon's interrogation escalated. Leaning in with a malicious grin, he asked, You must have dated like 100 guys. What type do you prefer? His eyes flicked between her and Jukyung. Looking at how you sat beside Jukyung, is he your type? Baek's son's shame and anger peaked. What are you talking about? The greasy team leader droned on, bragging about his own handsome youth and insisting young girls like Baek's son only cared about looks. Baek's son was so disgusted she couldn't even swallow her lettuce, screaming internally, Team leader, I'm going to choke on my food. This isn't the first time. Another colleague finally spoke up in despair. Come on, it's been ages since our last company dinner. Why is everyone like this? Jukyung, who had been silent, finally exploded. Pointing a trembling finger at Go Bacon, he shouted, Jae Jukyung, instead of worrying about others. Why don't you worry about your grandmother? Crash! The words hit Go Bacon like a sledgehammer. His pupils dilated, his whole body froze. The sheer shock and rage in his what? Said it all. A nerve had been brutally struck. The dinner had officially become a disaster zone. Dinner turns into a dumpster fire. Baek's son's mother drops the ultimate guilt trip at the fancy table, asking if the meal bought with their son's hard-earned money tastes particularly sweet. The person on the left fires back, telling her not to eat it then. The man on the right absolutely loses it, spitting out that even a dog shouldn't be disturbed while it's eating. This family meal is officially over. Flashback time. We see Baek's son 9 months ago in the office, still the clever girl with a mischievous smile, flashing a confident thumbs up, saying things will work out somehow. Cut to the future caption, about 9 months later. The transformation is brutal. The woman on screen now is fatigued, physically bigger and absolutely drained, her eyes glued to a monitor in a messy workspace. Those months at OGMA clearly took everything she had. This is Baek's son after 15 consecutive days of overtime. When a colleague calls her name, her response is a hollow, empty yes, dripping with exhaustion. No comfort comes her way, only a sharp interrogation. Did you check the content properly? And then it comes, the classic corporate gaslighting. I understand you're busy since we're understaffed, but please pay more attention. The pressure keeps mounting. Her supervisor looms behind her, not with support, but with a dismissive, I'm not asking you to do something impossible. Then the killer line, Jukyung used to handle all of this by himself. The command is final. Finish organizing this before you leave. Baek's son's defeat is in her lowered eyes and muttered apology, followed by the dark thought. Another sleepless night of overtime awaits. Overtime became her new normal ever since Jukyung, the one decent worker, left. The clock reads a soul-crushing 3:42 a.m. Slumped in her chair, Beck's son lets out a weary sigh. It's past 3 a.m. again. The city is asleep as she stumbles out alone, hailing a cab under the dim streetlights. The lonely beams of a single car seem to spotlight her isolation. The late-night cab ride starts off normal enough. Beck's son gives her address. The driver acknowledges it. But as the car starts moving, the driver's fuse blows. He's listening to the news on the radio and explodes. This damn bastard is going to ruin the country. Then, he swings around demanding validation. You think so too, right? Beck's son, who is just dozing off, jolts awake, utterly bewildered by this sudden political grilling. The atmosphere in the car freezes over. The driver's face is set in a grim, judgmental scowl against the world. In the back seat, Beck's son withdraws completely. Her glasses can't hide the exhaustion and disengagement. She folds her arms, slumps down, and closes herself off. In this silent, late-night shell, a stranger's political rage and her own personal despair face off in an unspoken stalemate. But the tense silence can't last. They've arrived, and Beck's son is passed out cold in the back. The driver completely loses it, shouting with all his might, "Miss, wake up! We've arrived!" A loud bang punctuates his panic, maybe from him hitting the wheel. At this point, he looks ready to physically shake her awake. We're back in the present. And here's our main character, Beck's son, in all her glory. She's splayed out face down on her apartment floor, a chaotic mess of hair and limbs. One slipper lies abandoned, socks scattered. The phone on the charger is her last, sad tether to the outside world. The vibe? Complete and utter done with life. Another morning, another soul-crushing dread for work. Beck's son is deep in her morning existential crisis, wishing for a meteor to end it all. Just as she's fantasizing about planetary destruction, her phone buzzes violently. She fumbles for it, squints at the screen, and BM, full-blown panic. A text this early can't be good. The jig might be up. Every nightmare confirmed. The text is from the clingy and terrifying team leader Go. Beck's son, I came to your house to pick you up for work. Sent at 8:07 a.m. Her blood runs cold. What is wrong with this guy? And how the hell did he get her address? Her mind races into overdrive, desperately trying to craft a reply to dodge this unwelcome ride. Hold up. Why are we suddenly in a schoolyard? It's a flashback. Young Beck's son is all swagger, bounding down the stairs with over-the-top confidence. She's bragging to her friend, I also consider myself to be pretty smart. With a brain like mine, I should definitely be able to get into Harvard if I study. Her friend just adjusts his glasses and calls her name with a knowing look, Beck's son. Back then, she still had that spark. But the memory sharpens, cutting deep. It's the same friend, but his face is now etched with pain. He confronts her, his voice trembling. Do you dislike me so much that you'd go as far as to tell me lies? Beck's son freezes, her hands twisting together, tears welling up as she internally scrambles. Oh no. It's not like that. His back is turned, radiating loneliness. His voice is gentle yet devastating. If you tell me the truth, I won't bother you anymore. Tell me honestly. That way, I can let go of my feelings for you. That gentle, final plea shatters something in the young Beck's son. She covers her face, her mind a complete blank, only able to stutter out a series of confused and panicked yes. We snap back to the present, outside OGMA. The adult Beck's son is now standing before her colleague, the bespectacled team leader Go, giving him the long-awaited answer. She stammers out an apology. I'm sorry. The light in his eyes dies. He doesn't press further, just lets out a quiet, resigned, all right. You don't need to say anything, Beck's son. He turns and walks toward his white sedan. The car door closes with a final thud. But it's not over. Inside that vehicle, team leader Go's calm facade shatters. His face contorts with rage, sweat and tears mixing as he screams into the void. Beck's son, you're a shallow woman who only cares about looks. I will ruin you. And just like the narrator says, from that day forward, he began deliberately making her life a living hell. The bullying campaign kicks off, and it starts with work. Beck's son musters the courage to ask him for a business plan the boss needs. Team leader Go barely glances up, irritation oozing. You don't see me? I'm busy right now, wait. A task that's his responsibility becomes a weapon to torment her. The first rule of toxic workplaces: use legitimate work to inflict illegitimate pain. Next tactic: make you invisible. Beck's son is working late when suddenly, darkness. Someone has switched off all the lights in the name of the spirit of saving energy, completely oblivious to her presence. The sudden blackout scares her so badly, she bangs her head, letting out a yelp. And who's the golden-haired silhouette walking away? Team leader go, probably whistling a tune. The pettiest form of ignoring someone? Pretend they don't exist. Did she try reporting it to the boss? She did, but the boss just plays peacemaker. He pulls her aside for a private chat, wearing a placating smile. About this. I'll try to talk to him about it. Then drops the ultimate victim-blaming bomb. The thing is, he's more emotionally fragile than you think. It'd be good if you could try to understand him a bit better. Unbelievable. The victim is told to empathize with the bully's fragility. All that pent-up rage has to go somewhere. Back in her apartment, Baeksun's eyes land on a beer can. This is therapy, her style. She points at it and declares, "Hello, beer can from now on. Your name will be Go Baeksun." Then, with all her might, she smashes her fist down on it. Fuck, go and fucking die. Every ounce of hatred for that man gets poured into destroying this inanimate object. The outburst passes, leaving only a deeper exhaustion and self-loathing in its wake. She slumps against the doorframe, a hollow sigh escaping. In the dead of night, clinging to her bed's feeble comfort, she stares at her glowing phone. The darkest thought surfaces. Until when do I have to live this kind of life? Unless I win the lottery, it will be like this for the rest of my life, right? But a glimmer of hope sometimes flickers in the deepest dark. She stumbles upon a news article about a web novel author striking it rich. She thinks of her own dead-end resume. High school dropout, no experience. Wait, hold on. Didn't she used to be good at writing? Like really good? She won a city-level writing competition as a kid and got a 500,001 prize. A photo surfaces in her memory. A beaming little girl holding a certificate. Was that really her? Just as a tiny spark of maybe I can write ignites, reality slaps it out. 1:30 a.m. Her phone lights up again. The devil himself, the team leader. Baeksun, there are 2 spelling errors in the file you sent. Fix them immediately. Baeksun clutches her head. The sudden inspiration feels like it just got whacked with a ruler. She screams internally. Who is it at this late hour? Writing while trapped in this hell? Forget it. This is the final straw that breaks her. She drafts a letter of resignation and delivers it to the boss's desk. Representative Nim, I would like to resign. The boss is taken aback, asking if she encountered some difficulty. Baeksun just gives a strained, awkward smile, her cheeks flushed. Not really. She can't tell the truth. The difficulty that's crushing her works in the office next door. But the road out is never smooth. She tries to use sick leave to get out early, only to have it coldly denied. Frustration boils over. Baeksun turns and walks out. Behind her, the supervisor calls out feigned concern. Baeksun, what is this? She doesn't look back. One more month. Just one more month of this torture, and she's free. That final month, Baeksun becomes untouchable. When the team leader screams at her for an inappropriate message, she doesn't flinch. She puts on her most saccharine, fake apologetic face. Team leader, I'm sorry. Maybe my cat accidentally pressed the send button. Meow inside, she's laughing. Go ahead and yell. I'm out of here in a month, sucker. One way or another, this has to stop. Salvation arrives in a cardboard box. She runs to get it, shouting delivery with a flicker of genuine excitement. Tearing it open, she finds her new Bible. High school graduates can do it too. An introduction to writing story plots. Staring at that book, Baeksun knows the dice are cast. Her desperate gamble to become a writer has officially begun. She collapses on her kitchen floor, staring at the book, and suddenly, a wave of hysterical laughter erupts from her. Ha ha ha. Ha ha. Is she laughing at the absurdity of it all? The sheer madness of her gamble? Or the sheer relief of finally taking a step? Any step? The laughter echoes in the empty apartment, crazy, liberating, and carrying just a sliver of uncertain hope for whatever comes next. Flash forward to the present, 2 years into her unemployed writing career. The same woman who was laughing maniacally about her new path is now facing a different kind of reality check. She stands before a full-length mirror, her hands pressing against her own stomach. A look of dawning horror crosses her face as she voices the terrible truth. When did I gain so much belly fat? The new challenges of freelance life, poverty, writer's block, and unexpected weight gain. Guy Baeksun stares at her bloated stomach with a wave of regret. Did I really order that much delivery just because I got some allowance? A moment later, she shrugs it off. Whatever, I'm showing this to no one. With nothing else to do, she resolves to finally get some exercise. And she's off. Fueled by a sense of self-consciousness, she pushes herself to run. Let's run, she gasps, each step a struggle. All right, let's go. Exercise. It's a shaky, strenuous start, but she's moving. Reality hits hard and fast. She stumbles to a halt, hunched over and panting. Oh, let's just walk. She wheezes before collapsing completely. Science says pushing too hard on day one actually lowers your chances of sticking with it. Her fitness journey might be over before it even began. But then a distraction. Ah, it smells delicious. A few minutes of running has sharpened her senses. She stops, confusion written on her face. My nose is too sensitive now. I need to head back. Quick. Too late. Three girls with unnerving smiles and folders in hand have appeared, blocking her path. Baeksun freezes, a cold sweat breaking out. 26 years of life experience scream at her. This is bad. 100% bad. She tries to put on her best don't talk to me face and walk right past. One of them beams at her. Hello, are you a student? We're just doing a quick survey for a project. Baeksun's soul leaves her body. Fuck. Panicked, she stammers out an excuse. I have an appointment. They press on. We won't take much time. I really have to leave. Just 5 minutes. Only 5. Trapped, Baeksun unleashes her ultimate move, a full-speed retreat. Her escape triggers chaos among the trio. Hey, you bitches, one shouts after her. Another is scandalized. What? So vulgar. A third points in terror. It's the Chihuahua. Run away. Baeksun is left utterly bewildered. Chihuahua? Her? The confusion deepens as a furious blonde man explodes from a nearby alley. Didn't I tell you I'd kill you if you kept doing that? Why are you all still here? He bellows at seemingly no one. No, you all come back here. I'll definitely kill you. Witnessing this deranged outburst, Baeksun's frustration finds a new target. I should have ripped all their mouths open. She fumes, her rage now focused on this yellow hair. But then he turns around with a cheerful grin. Oh, neighbor Yini, how are you? Baeksun snaps. You. Because of you, she screams, pointing an accusatory finger. Don't you remember last time? Her blonde neighbor is clueless. Me? What did I do? Last time, in that alley, a flashback hits. The night her drunken neighbor stumbled and projectile vomited all over Baeksun's new clothes. What the fuck? Yini, I'm so sorry. Not my clothes again. The memory floods back. The blonde neighbor grovels. I puked because of the alcohol. Please forgive me. Baeksun is seething. Oh, no way. I cannot forgive you. Do you even know how embarrassing it was to walk around like that? Just recalling it makes her own stomach churn. Just as tensions peak, her neighbor pivots with blinding speed. Yini, are you hungry? Should we get chicken? I'll treat you this time. The magic word hangs in the air. Free? Baeksun's entire being short circuits. The blonde offers a hand. Get up and talk. Baeksun tentatively asks, does that mean you are forgiving me? It seems a free chicken dinner can smooth over almost any transgression. Walking side by side, the blonde declares a truce. Yeah, let's forget about the past, so. What were you doing there, Yini? Baeksun explains she was heading home from a part-time job. Oh, I was just going to exercise a bit. The neighbor says before teasing. Exercise? You don't look like you've gained any weight, though. The blonde neighbor falters. Well, I've gained a bit. Baeksun cuts in firmly. No. The conversation dies. The blonde is left in a pool of silent, self-conscious reflection. A split second later, the neighbor snaps. If you want that then, I can make you skinny as a bone, she roars, launching into a chase. Baeksun flees in terror. If you're late, there will be no chicken for you. Wait a minute. A hilarious street chase ensues. Cough. Cough. Yini, I'm going ahead. When will you catch up? Baeksun feels like she's tasting blood. If you're going to run and come back, you might as well just walk. Finally at their destination, the blonde shoves her inside. Then I'll order the chicken. So, just wash up and come in. The crucial question arises. But where should we eat? In your room? Baeksun pictures her disaster zone of an apartment and panics. Oh no. My room is off limits, she shrieks. Her neighbor just grins. Then let's wash up and go to my room. I'm so excited. Standing outside apartment 302, Baeksun is consumed by anxiety. I should have just said I wouldn't eat. I can't back away now, right? She frets. Since you live next door, you'll definitely come after me. It feels like a point of no return. She knocks hesitantly. Who is it? Your neighbor. Left or right? The door opens to her neighbor's teasing face. Just kidding, come in. I thought you weren't coming since you took so long, but you arrived just in time. Stepping inside, Baeksun is stunned. The room is immaculate. The chicken just arrived and it's super hot. But she's distracted. Hey, why is your room so clean? It looks like a room of someone who just moved in. She voices the ultimate suspicion. Did you secretly clean your room without showering or something? Chicken is served, pausing all disputes. Come on, let's eat quickly. Oh yeah, then I'll enjoy my meal. Baeksun takes a bite of the golden, crispy chicken. Crunch. Pure bliss. The flavor is a revelation. Why is this chicken so delicious? she marvels. Where did you order this from? Her neighbor names the place. It's from Mac Jing Double Chicken. Quite affordable, right? Bake Sun remembers. Oh, I've ordered from there before. After the feast, Bake Sun quietly leaves a 5-star review. It's delicious. Maybe she'll order from there again. As she leaves, her neighbor pops her head out the door. Yuni, I'm sorry about last time. You're welcome here anytime. Bake Sun is caught off guard. Huh? Oh, the sudden warmth is confusing. The enthusiasm isn't over. If you're going to exercise again next time, call me, the neighbor insists. Bake Sun, wiping her brow, agrees. If I'm free, let's go together. I'm bored. Back in her own dark, quiet room, Bake Sun collapses on her bed. She takes a tired selfie. I exercised. She reflects on the chaotic day. At first, she thought her neighbor was crazy. But maybe she's not so bad. It's been years since she shared a meal with someone. Today, somehow, I feel kind of sleepy. But peace is fleeting. The very next morning, the torment resumes. A cheerful voice echoes outside her door. Yini, are you there? Let's go exercise. I'm so bored. A groggy, exasperated Bake Sun groans into her pillow. Ugh, what is it this early in the morning? Her rewarding day seems to have a sequel. All right, gang. Welcome back to the ongoing tragedy of unemployed guy Bake Sun. Feast your eyes on this cover art. Food splattered with a dramatic splat, and this bro just staring at a truck, smoking in existential silence. The whole vibe? Life sometimes just feels like this plate of food, messy, loud, and utterly flipped. And that distant figure puffing away is the embodiment of pure screw-it-all exhaustion. But for our heroine Bake Sun, life isn't even a complete plate of food. It's more like this feral cat colony. Check out these strays. Hissing, posturing, a full-blown turf war over scraps. A little white ones even riding a bigger cat, brandishing a toy knife. Okay, sure. The sheer chaos perfectly mirrors Bake Sun's messy relationships and the battlegrounds of her online games. And just like that, the fight's over. One cat licks its paw in smug victory. Another trots off into the night. Is it freedom? Maybe. Is it lonely? Absolutely. Vagabond life. That chapter title hits different. Bake Sun's existence is just this endless cycle between fleeting satisfaction and a deep, pervasive sense of drifting. Of course, the vagabond life is full of surprises. Like getting ambushed by a bird. One moment you're chill, looking at the scenery, the next, BM. A tiny avian ninja delivers a flying kick to the head, sending you tumbling with a look of pure, unadulterated panic. This hilarious, pathetic scene? That's Bake Sun attempting human interaction in a nutshell. A stray's life is all about vigilance. You groom, you stretch, and then ears perk up, eyes go laser-focused. Every little sound could mean trouble. This constant state of alert. Isn't that exactly how Bake Sun feels scrolling through social media, dreading posts about happy couples or ex-coworkers getting promotions? Finally, a human appears. Look at this guy in red, trying to photograph an aloof cat. Hey, don't move. Let me take a pic. The cat responds with a bored yawn. Textbook case of unrequited enthusiasm, right? I'm getting major Bake Sun, trying to talk to her emotionally volatile neighbor, Cao Dongji vibes here. He doesn't give up. He goes for the grab. Come here. Scoops the cat right up. And shockingly, the cat seems okay with it. That look says, fine, I'll humor you. Is this force bonding? Maybe human connections sometimes need this kind of unapologetic, clumsy initiative too. Yep, it's the neighbor. Are you out exercising? She beams with joy. Meanwhile, our poor protagonist, or her doppelganger in red, is already collapsed on the ground, needing a hand up. Let me help you. The contrast is brutal. One is a ball of sunshine. The other is a puddle of existential goo. This is the inevitable result of every healthy living intervention in Bake Sun's life. Cut to a kitten napping on a windowsill. Inside, a woman cuddles a different blue-eyed cat, cooing, "Oh, my dear Mimi, you're so beautiful. So cute, it's sweet, but it aches a little." Bake Sun feels like that cat on the sill. Seemingly free, actually adrift. The care others offer sometimes feels just as distant, separated by an invisible pane of glass. Dongji, the vagabond life isn't all cuddles. The kitten's ears perk up at the sound of death's engine. A blue truck barrels towards it. It's pure instinct, a frantic scramble to safety. This heart-stopping moment is a perfect metaphor for Bake Sun's finances, a monthly, high-stakes game of chicken with total bankruptcy. Meanwhile, the truck driver is living his best life. Mondays are amazing. Mondays are the best. Oh, buddy. You jinxed it hard. Something flashes in the rear view. Huh? What's that? By the time he processes the panicked ball of fur rocketing towards him, it's too late. Comedy to horror in 0.5 seconds flat. Oh shit. Is that a cat? Ah, I'm so scared. The driver's soul leaves his body as he yanks the wheel, tires screeching. A stray cat-induced street terror. And honestly, the panic Beck's son feels when her mom shows up unannounced or her neighbor has a meltdown on the street. Probably pretty damn similar to this dude's face right now. Miraculously, the cat's fine. Sitting in the middle of the empty road, it lets out a long, drawn-out yawn, followed by a casual meow. Switches from sheer terror to utter nonchalance like a pro. Beck's son, take notes. Your life is also a roller coaster, mostly downhill, but you gotta master this art of the quick recovery. Don't stay the spook cat from panel 1. And now, back to our main character. Behold, collapsed on the ground, her soul undergoing a philosophical interrogation. Why do people need to exercise? To be beautiful? To be happy long-term? But if you have to struggle like this every day to be happy, does it even have a point? Am I slowly going towards unhappiness? Right on cue, the perky voice returns. Yuni, have you rested enough? Let's go. Beck's son's only response is a defeated. Behold, the ultimate clash between ideal and reality. New chapter alert. Scary cooking time. Look at this title screen. Pouring rain, a bloody knife spinning through the air. You'd think it's a horror flick. But for a kitchen menace like Beck's son, stepping into the kitchen is a horror scene. Coming up next, the unemployed girl's guide to culinary destruction. First, you need the right ceremony. Check this out. Holding a chef's knife over a tomato, she lets out a villainous cackle. Ha ha. A flash of steel. I've cut it. The tomato. Next. Dude, it's a tomato. Why the dramatic climax? But this level of extra? I bet this is exactly the internal monologue Beck's son has when she declares, "Today, I will cook seriously." The decision is epic. The execution is sad. Beck's son, barefoot, stares intently at a cooking tutorial. A tomato and beef that even a beginner can easily make. The next step is, she squints at the screen. A big spoon? Is it okay if I just use any spoon? And there it is. The first crack in the plan. Recipes never tell you that you don't own the big spoon. Let's rewind to the beginning. A rainy day. Beck's son, stuck at home, gets hit with a sudden, dangerous whim. Domestic bliss. On a rainy day like this, since I'm stuck at home, I kind of feel like cooking. Out comes the phone. Let me see. Beef, tomato, onion, the list is made. She looks so competent. Little does she know, this is step 1 on the road to culinary disaster. Grocery shopping. Reality checks start rolling in. 300g beef, 2 tomatoes, half an onion, half a carrot. Great plan. Too bad vegetables don't come in halves. Gotta buy the whole bag. I'll use the rest next time. She lies to herself. Then the realization, no cooking wine, no pepper. The final price tag, 40,000 won. Cue the internal screaming. The cost of this simple meal is already spiraling. The checkout mini drama. Cashier smiles. Miss, will you be paying with points? Beck's son short circuits. And no points. Internally, I barely bought anything. She's sweating bullets, terrified of being perceived as the broke girl who can only afford a handful of ingredients. Sometimes, adult dignity hangs on the thin thread of refusing to use loyalty points. All right, ingredients assembled. Beck's son, metaphorically, ties on an apron. All prepped and ready. The beef hits the pan with a glorious sizzle. This beef is the real deal. It smells amazing. In this moment, she is a culinary goddess, brimming with confidence. Let's be real. The peak of cooking joy is that brief window before anything actually goes wrong. Following step 2, add the chopped vegetables and stir-fry it with the beef. Done. After a bit of frying, add water and tomato sauce. Done. But wait. I'm sure I followed his instructions. Why is there so little water? Where's the luxurious stew? Reality is a sad, dry-looking mess bubbling pathetically in a pot. The internet has lied to her. This is not right. No matter how I think about it, this doesn't look right at all. I'll add more water. Splash. And then, the horror. The food in the pot. Is it forming a face? A twisted, judgmental face that seems to say, "What in the hell have you created?" Wait, it looks weird. Oh no. Not only has the cooking failed, the food has become sentient and is now mocking her. Beck's son stands in her messy kitchen, contemplating the pot of suspiciously dark, sludge-like substance. Maybe the sauce changes the color? Should I add more sauce and tomatoes? Meanwhile, the tutorial video gleefully shows a picture-perfect, delicious tomato beef stew. That's it, she whispers, the soul-crushing realization dawning. Their aesthetic food vlog versus her catastrophic reality. The final attempt. No way. Fuck, I spent 40,000 won, and this is what I got. She stares at the alien-looking lump in her pot, her soul leaving her body. But the money, she can't waste it. Let me try it. I shouldn't judge it by its appearance. A spoonful goes in, and her eyes bulge, shockwaves radiating out. The taste, is it unspeakably awful or surprisingly decent? The world may never know. We have our answer. Why is there seriously no flavor at all? She levels an accusation at the soul-crushingly bland stew. Then, clang, the pot is dumped unceremoniously into the sink. Surrender is instantaneous. She spins around and beelines for the fridge, moving at lightning speed. Cooking? Forget it. Processed food never lets her down. Well, almost never. Behold, her ultimate salvation, Dino nuggets. As expected, all the internet recipes are fabricated. Chicken nuggets are definitely the best food in the world. These chicken nuggets won't let me down, right? She cradles the bag of green, TREX nuggets with a look of tired reverence. After a costly, failed culinary adventure, this simple, cheap, brainless joy is the sanctuary her fragile soul needs. But joy is fleeting. Even the sacred act of frying frozen food betrays her. Wah! Shit! Hot oil spatters everywhere. Beck's son shrieks, covering her head. The kitchen, a place meant for warmth, is just a hazard-filled war zone for her. Remember to be careful when frying frozen foods in oil. This lesson, learned through pain and fire, is one she will absolutely forget next time. A new day, a fresh wave of isolation. Beck's son slouches, shifting from PC to phone. The cold screen glow highlights her bleak expression. She scrolls robotically until she sees it, spending quality time with the people I like 4,085 likes. 83 comments. She stares. Her finger hovers near her earphone. The speech bubble is empty, just out there, the world is buzzing, likes and comments flooding other people's lives. In here, she's just an unemployed girl behind screen, wearing headphones, her quiet breath's the only sound. The loneliness is deafening. Scrolling through social media, everyone else seems to be winning at life. Our protagonist, Guy Beck's son, just has one thought. Is it really just me who's failing? The whole world is moving forward, except her. Just as she's spiraling from others' success, she gets hit by a commercial for a magical cleaning mop. Effortless. Spray. Rotating. It promises everything. But then reality hits. One look at her own cluttered, chaotic room, and she's stunned into silence. She's completely defeated. But what's the last resort of a desperate, unemployed soul? Impulse buying. She throws down the cash for the magic mop. Look at that determined face. She really thinks this is the start of new life. Scrubbing on her knees is a special kind of torture, covering almost no ground. No more. The new mop is here, and with it, she feels it, a sudden breeze of refreshment blowing through her hair. This is it. But the dream is fat, and reality is a skeleton. Step 1. Attach the cleaning cloth. It's not clicking. This isn't what the manual promised. Step 2. Fill the water tank. This feels less like cleaning and more like assembling a broken model kit. What a mess. Assembly complete. Now for the moment of truth. She presses the lever. Tiniest. Wait, did it spray water? Nope. But she's discovered a new feature. This handle is the perfect weapon for surprise attacks on dust bunnies under the furniture. A swift thwack and it's done. Beck's son has just made a groundbreaking discovery. An unemployed shut-in for 2 years, she now wields her new tool like a warrior goddess of cleanliness. Dust bunnies prepare for total annihilation. With each sweep, she's not just cleaning the floor. She's wiping the floor with the memories of every bully from her old job at OGMA. But the life of a wash-up is one continuous loop. The magic only lasted a few days. One clumsy grab later, a bottle of cola is doing a swan dive, its dark contents spilling all over her freshly cleaned floor. Just like that. Sitting on the floor, she's numb. 2 words flash in her mind. Magic mop. Magic mop. But what really breaks her is recalling the instruction manual's 5-step purgatory. Fill, mop, empty, wash, ring. This isn't magic. This is just chores, on repeat, forever. She's exhausted. Screw it. Magic mop? Scram. Wet wipes to the rescue. A quick swipe, problem solved in 2 seconds flat. The person who invented wet wipes deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. Finally, a truly revolutionary piece of technology. Her gaze falls upon the magic mop, now just a hunk of plastic. Her eyes turn cold. Its only remaining purpose is to take up space. Sitting in her tiny bathroom, it's a physical joke she paid good money for, a constant reminder that things can always get worse. Maybe throw it away? The thought immediately energizes her. Yes, bathroom space is precious. I'll just stick a hook on the wall and hang it up, Out of sight, out of mind. Genius. This is the peak survival wisdom of an unemployed youth battling against life itself. And that concludes the self-help series for today's unemployed youth. How to waste money on a wall hook. The steps are simple. Stick the hook on the wall and hang your failure on it. Fun. Cut to a few days later. Guy Beck's son is curled up in her gaming chair, head in hands. This superb open call for submissions, a universe-famous contest that could change her life, closes tomorrow. Her document is as empty as her current will to live. Stress? She knows it. Her coping mechanisms? Sleep or play games. So naturally, with one day left, the panic finally sets in. How did things end up like this? Come on, you know why. You were the one racking up K/D ratios instead of word counts. Every frantic keystroke is a note of pure regret. Late night, slumped on the couch, doom scrolling. Time, stolen once again. I'll just double my output tomorrow. But another voice whispers, maybe just give up this time. There's always next year. Oh no, her willpower is slipping away, right before her eyes. Can't stay here. She throws on a hoodie and hits the cold, empty streets. Streetlights stretch her shadow long and thin behind her. A stubborn tail named failure she just can't seem to shake off. Walking and thinking. She quit her job to write, but now every time she picks up the pen, her only thought is, will this win a prize? Now I want to write this. A check of her comments section reveals nothing. She sighs. Maybe I should have just taken the civil service exam. Just then, her phone buzzes. Who's messaging at this hour? She taps the screen. One new comment. A real person. A reader. After all this time, the joy lasts for exactly 1 second before the content hits her. So boring. Seriously? Another internet troll? Her fingers hover over the keyboard. Her mind races with 100 elegant ways to ruin someone's day without using a single curse word. No. Hold back. She's got to hold back. A future best-selling author can't have troll fighting on her resume. Her final shred of conscience screams. Finish the story. Submit it. She practically flees, power walking back home. On the way back, some intense music blasts through her headphones. The rhythm, the drums, bam, bam, bam. It's like plugging a data cable directly into her brain. Inspiration, sudden and electric, surges through her. Back home, she sees articles about those comet-like authors who exploded in popularity overnight. Millions of fans, interviews. I really want to succeed. Wouldn't that be nice? But this time, the envy doesn't crush her. It feels like a slap across the face, waking her up. The next day on the bus, she overhears students excitedly discussing the hit novel Pickle Thief Secret. It's so interesting. A jolt of electricity runs from her toes to her scalp. She's standing right behind them, her inner world in a storm. I'm the author of that book. She spins around, dramatically removing her sunglasses. That's right, I am the author. The entire bus explodes. Autographs, selfies. Even the driver is screaming, torn between his duty and wanting her signature. In her daydream, she's a superstar. She's donating books to local shops to show off. She's ordering burgers with all the toppings and paying in full. The sheer, vindictive pleasure of this success fantasy makes her grin wildly. Even her parents are in her spacious new apartment, bursting with pride as they look at their daughter. We really did have the best daughter, right? All this fantasy, sparked by that one song, that tiny sliver of courage. Even if I fail, I have to take action to make a change. She throws open her door. This isn't a retreat. This is her charge forward. 3 in the morning. The final keystroke. Finally, I finished it. She slumps in her chair, completely spent, but her eyes are shining. Tonight, for the first time in a long time, she can finally sleep without guilt. Welcome back to the tragic comedy of Unemployed Guy Beck's Son, Chapter 20. Behold our heroine, still glued to her computer. Finally, that bi-monthly alarm in her head goes off again. Time to move. Spoiler. It never goes well. This is what peak performance looks like. After a grueling marathon around her tiny apartment, Beck's son moves on to the weightlifting challenge, hefting her 195-gram phone. Contestant Guy Beck's son, the stage is yours. And she's down with a perfect shot right onto the bed. The most intense weightlifting showdown in history. Can Guy Beck's son claim the ultimate glory? She's giving it her all, shaking with effort. And then smack. The phone executes a perfect faceplant. Medals are canceled. Self-inflicted concussions win the day. Behold the face of pure despair. Collapsed on the floor, Beck's son's internal monologue is screaming. Not again. I really can't today. Maybe, just maybe if she plays dead, her personal drill sergeant will give up? Code red. Beck's son goes full-on stealth mode, curling up on the kitchen counter. Breath held, heart pounding. Is the coast clear? Please tell me she's gone. Wishful thinking. Outside, her hyperactive, possibly vampire blonde neighbor has her ear to the door. Strange. I swear I heard something. And then, the inevitable roar. You are home. Open up. Game over. Hide-and-seek champion. And thus, Beck's son gets forcibly dragged into exercise. Look at her now, utterly spent, chugging water like her life depends on it. She swore she'd never do this even at gunpoint. Yet here she is, weirdly, relieved? But questions start swirling. What does this girl even do for a living? Why is she always around? Maybe she's a secret hermit too? Oops, that's a dangerously relatable thought. Suddenly, Blondie snaps to attention. Crap, gotta run to work. One of the part-timers ditched. Bake's son, on autopilot, asks the fatal question. Where do you work? Cue the teasing grin. Oh, finally curious about me, huh? Blondie puffs up with pride. I manage the PC room over there. PC room? Bake's son's brain buffers. Do you like gaming? She asks, hopeful sparks in her eyes. Bake's son's simple no, just crushes them. The air turns to ice. Despite the awkwardness, the invitation stands. If you're bored, come check it out. And just like that, Bake's son finds herself in front of Tayson PC room. She squints. From the outside, it kind of looks like one of those study cafes, not exactly a gamer's paradise. Stepping inside is a surprise. The equipment's nicer than expected. This neighborhood has this? But the real kicker, there's so many empty spots, rows of glowing PCs, a ghost town. The vibe is officially weird. The awkward silence is shattered by a beanie-clad Juicy. Yo, Blondie. 3 hours, she fires back. Use the computers over there. His defense? I don't know how. Her brilliant solution? Then learn. Customer service at its finest. Blondie's still complaining about the slow day when Bake's son's face goes pale. Without warning, she shoves her friend hard. Ugh, what the hell is happening? In a blur of motion, Blondie grabs something and rockets out the door. Yuni, watch the store for me, just a bit. Bake's son's left scrambling. Wait. Too late. She's left standing alone, jaw on the floor. Hawaha. Cue the title card. GY Bake's son, 26, unemployed, has found a job. Is this even legal? Meanwhile, outside in the dim streetlight, a group of guys huddle. A PC room in a place like this? It's fine. 10 minutes tops. There won't be any customers, right? Young, let's play around. Okay, Bake's son's new job is about to get its first customers. The real chaos is just knocking at the door.